Captain June Kim stood on the bridge of the UES Sentinel, watching the stars. The ship moved slowly toward the edge of the solar system. His hands gripped the rail as he waited. After all these years, it was finally happening. First contact with aliens. "Captain, we're approaching the meeting point," said his second-in-command. June nodded. "Keep us at half power. No need to seem eager." Dr. Hana Lee joined him at the viewport. Her eyes were wide with excitement, but her voice was steady. "This is it, Captain. Everything we've trained for." The Sentinel was Earth's best diplomatic vessel. It wasn't very large, but it had all the latest technology. Earth had decided to send a mid-sized ship to meet the aliens. Not too small to seem weak. Not too large to seem threatening. "What do we know about them?" June asked. "They call themselves the Veldari," Hana said. "Their message said they lead a confederation of species. They detected our radio signals and came to investigate." The communication officer's voice cut through the bridge. "Captain, we have visual contact." On the main screen, a ship appeared. It was smooth and oval-shaped, with a blue-green glow around its edges. It was about twice the size of the Sentinel. "Open a channel," June ordered. The screen flickered, and an alien face appeared. It had pale blue skin, large eyes, and no visible hair. Its mouth was small and its nose was just 2 slits. "Greetings, humans," the alien said in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Kyun of the Veldari Confederation. We come in peace." June stepped forward. "I am Captain June Kim of the United Earth Ship Sentinel. With me is Dr. Hana Lee, our xenolinguist, and Ambassador Taiho Choi of Earth." Taiho bowed slightly. He was a tall man with a serious face. "We welcome you to our solar system." The alien ambassador tilted his head. "We are surprised to find such developed life here. Your radio signal suggested a primitive civilization." Hana frowned slightly at the word primitive, but Taiho kept his diplomatic smile. "We would be honored to learn more about your confederation," Taiho said. Kyun nodded. "We would be pleased to share our knowledge with a developing species. Perhaps you would like to dock with our vessel. We can show you technologies your kind has not yet imagined." June and Taiho exchanged looks. This was moving quickly. "We would be happy to meet," June said carefully. "But for safety protocols, we suggest neutral territory. Perhaps the space between our vessels?" The alien seemed amused. "Of course, we understand the caution of younger species. We will prepare a meeting chamber." When the screen went dark, Hana turned to June. "Did you notice how they keep talking about us? Primitive. Developing. Younger species. They're being condescending." June nodded. "I noticed. Let's be careful." 2 hours later, June, Hana, and Taiho floated in a clear bubble between the 2 ships. The bubble was Veldari technology, a temporary meeting space with its own gravity and air. Kyun entered with 2 other Veldari. "Welcome. We are pleased you could join us." Taiho bowed again. "Thank you for your hospitality." The aliens showed the humans many things. They had screens that appeared in mid-air. They had devices that could create food from nothing. They showed weapons that could stun or kill without leaving a mark. "This is our basic technology," Kyun said. "Much more advanced than yours, but simple for us." June watched carefully. The aliens were clearly showing off. "But why?" "Tell us about your confederation," Hana asked. "We have united 32 species under our guidance," Kyun said proudly. "We find developing worlds and help them join galactic society. We offer protection, technology, and knowledge." "And what do you ask in return?" June asked. Kyun smiled. It looked strange on his alien face. "Only loyalty and some resources. A fair exchange, wouldn't you agree?" Taiho nodded politely. "It sounds beneficial. We would need to discuss this with our world leaders, of course." "Of course," Kyun said. "We understand the slow decision-making of democratic systems." June did not like the way Kyun said slow. There was something hidden in the alien's words. After the meeting, June contacted Admiral Day Park at Luna Base. "How did it go?" Admiral Day asked. His face on the screen looked worried. They're showing off their technology, June said. But something feels wrong. They haven't asked about our military capabilities at all. Admiral Day frowned. That's unusual. Any species making first contact should want to know if we're a threat. Exactly, June said. It's like they've already decided we're not. The Admiral was quiet for a moment. I don't like this. I'm going to quietly put the defense fleet on alert. Not enough to be obvious, but ready just in case. Good idea, June agreed. Better safe than sorry. The next day, the Veldari asked to visit Earth. Taiho arranged for them to meet with the World Council in New Geneva. Before they left, June spoke privately with Hana. What do you think of them? He asked. Hana chose her words carefully. They're advanced, no doubt. But the way they speak to us, it's like an adult talking to a child. They use simple words and explain obvious things, and they keep referring to Earth as a developing world. I noticed that too, June said. They're being polite, but they don't see us as equals. When they reached Earth, crowds gathered to see the alien ship. It landed gracefully in the large plaza outside the World Council building. The Veldari seemed pleased by the attention. Inside the council chambers, Kyun addressed Earth's leaders. We are happy to welcome Earth to the galactic community. Your planet has potential. With our guidance, you could advance quickly. The council president thanked them. We are interested in learning more about your confederation. Ambassador Taiho will continue discussions. After the meeting, Dr. Hana pulled June aside. I've been analyzing their language patterns. They keep using words like guidance, potential, and developing. I think they see us as a primitive species they can control. June nodded. I agree, and they still haven't asked about our defenses. It's like they've already decided we're not a threat. That night, June spoke again with Admiral Day. How are things at Luna Base? June asked. Quiet, Day said. Too quiet. The Veldari haven't tried to scan our facilities or ask about our military. It's strange. Keep the fleet ready, June said. Something isn't right. Admiral Day nodded. I've already activated Silent Alert. The defense fleet is ready but not visible, and I've sent word to the outer bases. Good, June said. Let's hope we're wrong. But as he ended the call, June had a feeling they weren't wrong. The Veldari were hiding something. Behind their friendly words and impressive technology, there was something else. Something that made him uneasy. Earth had invited the Veldari to visit, but June couldn't shake the feeling that they had invited trouble instead. 3 days had passed since the Veldari arrived on Earth. They were staying in a special building made just for them in New Geneva. Every day they met with Earth leaders and scientists. They seemed friendly, but Captain June Kim still felt uneasy. They want something, he said to Dr. Hana Lee as they walked through the garden outside the World Council building. They're being too nice. Hana nodded. I agree. They keep showing us their technology but never ask about ours. Inside the building, Ambassador Taiho Choi was giving the Veldari a tour. He pointed to a wall filled with photos of Earth cities and space stations. This is Luna Base, our main settlement on the moon, Taiho explained. And here is Mars Colony, now home to 3 million people. Ambassador Kyun looked at the photos with a small smile. Very impressive for your level of development. Your people have done well with such limited technology. Taiho's smile remained fixed, but his eyes hardened slightly. These backhanded compliments were getting old. How many planets are in your confederation? Taiho asked, changing the subject. 32 worlds, Kyun replied. All thriving under our guidance. We help young species avoid the mistakes we made. And all these species joined willingly? Taiho asked carefully. Kyun paused before answering. They all saw the benefits of our leadership. After the tour, Taiho met with June and Hana in a secure room. I don't trust them, Taiho said simply. Neither do I, June agreed. Have you noticed they avoid answering direct questions about their confederation? Hana pulled out her tablet. I've been researching, look at this. She showed them images from the Veldari ship. See these markings? They're not decorative. They're kill counts. June leaned closer. You're sure? Yes. And this symbol here? It's repeated on all their uniforms. My analysis suggests it means expansion or conquest, not confederation. Taeho's face grew grim. We need to tell Director Jin. Director Jin Rhee of Earth Intelligence sat at her desk, reviewing the reports. Commander Su Yoon stood beside her. Our scanners detected something strange last night, Su said. The Veldari ship sent signals to the edge of our solar system. What kind of signals? Jin asked. Encrypted. But our best guess is they were communicating with other ships. Jin frowned. So there might be more Veldari out there, waiting. Yes. And there's something else. We caught them scanning our defense systems and communications networks. Jin picked up her secure phone. Get me Admiral Day. At Luna Base, Admiral Day Park received the call in his private office. You were right, Jin told him. They're not here just for friendship. Day nodded grimly. I've already started preparations. The fleet is on standby and I've activated the hidden bases. Do it quietly, Jin warned. We don't want to provoke them until we know what they're planning. Understood. What about the Prometheus Protocol? Jin was quiet for a moment. Have it ready, just in case. After the call, Admiral Day walked to the command center of Luna Base. It was built deep inside, the moon hidden from outside scans. Commander Su, begin silent activation of all defense systems, he ordered. Su nodded. Yes, sir. What about the outer fleet? Signal them to move to position Alpha, but keep them dark. No active scans, minimal power signatures. Su understood. Position Alpha meant hiding the ships behind Jupiter and Saturn, ready to move if needed. And sir, what about the Thunderchild? Day looked out the viewport at the dark side of the moon. Tell Captain Min to stand by, but keep her hidden. Back on Earth, Ambassador Kyun requested a private meeting with the World Council. We have enjoyed our time here, Kyun began. Earth is a beautiful planet with great potential. The Veldari Confederation would like to formally invite Earth to join us. The council members looked at each other. We appreciate your offer, the council president said. But this is a big decision. We need time to consider it. Kyun's smile faded slightly. Of course, but I should mention that the space around Earth can be dangerous. Many species out there are not as friendly as we are. As part of our confederation, you would have our protection. Taeho, sitting in the back of the room, recognized the threat hidden in those words. How much time do we have to decide? The president asked. Not long, Kyun replied. For your own safety, we recommend a quick decision. After the meeting, June, Hana, and Taeho met with Director Jin and the council president. They're threatening us, Taeho said. Director Jin nodded. Our intelligence confirms it. They've been scanning our defenses and communicating with hidden ships. What do they want? The president asked. Control, Hana said. I've analyzed their language and behavior. They don't see us as equals. They want Earth as another world under their rule. The president looked worried. Our military is strong, but we don't know how powerful they are. Admiral Day is preparing, Jin assured him. But we should keep talking to them. Buy time. The next morning, Kyun requested another meeting. We need your answer, he said, his voice now cold. Will Earth join the Veldari Confederation? Taeho stepped forward. We're still considering your offer. Our world's decision-making process takes time. Kyun's eyes narrowed. I'm afraid time has run out. He touched a device on his wrist. The large screen in the meeting room flickered to life, showing space near Jupiter. A group of ships appeared, dropping their cloaking devices. There were about 50 of them, all larger than Earth's known vessels. This is just one division of our fleet, Kyun said. Council leader Marak will arrive soon to oversee Earth's integration into our confederation. The room was silent with shock. Integration? Taeho asked carefully. Yes. You see, what we call a confederation is more accurately described as an empire. Earth will become our newest territory. Your resources and people will serve the Veldari. In return, you will receive our protection and limited access to our technology. And if we refuse? The president asked. Kyun's smile returned, but it was cold now. Then those ships will ensure your cooperation. We prefer willing subjects, but we accept unwilling ones too. Taiho stood tall. We need to discuss this with our full government. You have 24 hours, Kyun said. After that, Council Leader Marak will arrive to hear your answer. Choose wisely. After the Veldari left, the room erupted in angry voices. They lied to us, someone shouted. They want to make us slaves, another added. The president called for quiet. Director Jin, contact Admiral Day immediately. We need to know our options. On the secure line, Admiral Day's face appeared. He looked calm despite the news. We saw them reveal their fleet, he said. 50 mid-sized warships near Jupiter. Can we fight them? The president asked. A small smile appeared on Admiral Day's face. Sir, with your permission, I'd like to activate the Prometheus Protocol. What will that do? Show the Veldari that humans aren't as helpless as they think. Day's smile grew. They've been so busy looking down on us they haven't bothered to look behind our moon. The president nodded. Do it. As the call ended, June turned to Hana. What's the Prometheus Protocol? Hana shook her head. I don't know, but from the look on Admiral Day's face, the Veldari are in for a surprise. The 24 hours were almost up. In the World Council chamber, Earth's leaders waited nervously. On the large screen, they could see a new Veldari ship entering the solar system. It was 3 times larger than the first one and decorated, with bright markings. That's Council Leader Marak's ship, Ambassador Taeho Choi said. The markings show high rank. Captain June Kim stood by the window looking at the sky. What do you think the Prometheus Protocol is? He asked Dr. Hana Lee. She shook her head. I don't know, but Admiral Day seemed very confident. The door opened and Ambassador Kyun walked in with 5 other Veldari. They looked proud and sure of themselves. Your time is up, Kyun announced. Council Leader Marak will arrive in 1 hour to hear your answer. Will Earth join the Veldari Empire peacefully, or will we need to use force? The council president stood tall. We are still discussing our options. Kyun laughed. What options? You have seen our fleet. Your small ships cannot fight us. Just then, a Veldari aide rushed in and whispered to Kyun. The ambassador's face changed from confident to confused. What is happening on your moon? He demanded. Before anyone could answer, the large screen in the room flickered. Admiral Day Park's face appeared. Mr. President, Day said calmly, the Prometheus Protocol is active. Permission to proceed? President nodded. Granted, Day smiled. Watch the screens, everyone. And perhaps our Veldari guests should pay special attention. The view on the screen changed to show the dark side of the moon. At first, nothing seemed different. Then, slowly, parts of the moon's surface began to move. What is this trick? Kyun demanded. No one answered him. They all watched as huge sections of the moon's surface slid away, revealing what had been hidden. Underneath, ships. Enormous ships. One by one, they rose from hidden bases built deep into the lunar surface. They were massive, each one bigger than the entire Veldari fleet combined. By the stars, Kyun whispered, his blue skin turning pale. The first ship that emerged was sleek and dark, with UES Thunderchild painted on its side in large letters. It was at least 20 times the size of the largest Veldari vessel. Behind it came more ships, each just as large. On the screen, Admiral Day's face reappeared. May I introduce Captain Min Han of the UES Thunderchild, our first-class battleship? A woman with short hair and a serious face appeared on the screen. The Thunderchild is ready, Admiral. More ships continued to rise from the moon. 5, 10, 15 of them. Each one dwarfed anything the Veldari had shown. What are those? Kyun asked, his voice shaking. June stepped forward. Those are Earth's battleships. We call them the Titan class. Impossible, Kyun said. Your species couldn't build ships that size. We've been watching your planet for years. Hana smiled. You watched what we wanted you to see. Our public space program uses small ships, but we've been building the real fleet in secret for decades. On the screen, Admiral Day gave more orders. The view changed to show other parts of the solar system. Near Jupiter and Saturn, where the Veldari fleet waited, more human ships appeared. They had been hiding behind moons and inside the rings of Saturn. Our defense fleet has your ships surrounded, Day explained. And more ships are emerging from Mars, Venus, and the asteroid belt. The council president turned to Kyun. It seems the Veldari Empire has made a mistake. Kyun couldn't speak. He kept staring at the screen as more and more Earth ships appeared. Council. Leader Marok's ship is hailing us, Captain Min reported. Put him through, Admiral Day ordered. A new Veldari face appeared on the screen. Marok looked older than Kyun, with darker blue skin and markings on his face. What is the meaning of this? Marok demanded. Where did these ships come from? Admiral Day smiled. They were always here, Council Leader. We just kept them hidden. Earth has been preparing for possible threats for a very long time. Marok's eyes narrowed. This is impossible. Our scans showed no sign of this fleet. Your scans showed what we wanted them to show, Day replied. Our stealth technology is quite advanced. On the UES Thunderchild's bridge, Captain Min Han stood calmly. Her ship moved forward slowly, its massive shadow falling over the much smaller Veldari vessels. Orders, Admiral? She asked. Form a defensive line between Earth and the Veldari fleet, Day instructed. Show them what the Thunderchild can do. Captain Min nodded and gave orders to her crew. The huge battleship turned smoothly and accelerated. Despite its enormous size, it moved with surprising speed and grace. Back in the council chamber, June turned to Kyun. Now, Ambassador, I believe it's time for new negotiations. Kyun seemed unable to understand what was happening. But you're a developing species. Your largest ship we detected was less than half the size of our smallest cruiser. Those were just our public ships, Taiho explained. The ones we use for trade and basic space travel. Hana added, humans have a long history of conflict. We always prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. On the screen, the Thunderchild fired up its main engines. The energy output readings made the Veldari technicians gasp. Their power levels are beyond anything we've seen in ships this size, one of them reported to Marok. Marok's confidence was gone now. How? How did you build such vessels without us? Knowing? Admiral Day answered simply. We built them inside our moon and other planets. We've been working on them for generations. The Thunderchild moved into position between Earth and Marok's ship. It was so large that it blocked out the sun from the Veldari fleet's view. As you can see, the council president said to Kyun, Earth is not interested in becoming part of your empire. However, we are open to discussing a true alliance. As equals. Kyun looked at the screens showing Earth's massive fleet. More ships were still emerging from hidden bases throughout the solar system. How many ships do you have? He asked quietly. June smiled. Enough. Admiral Day's voice came through the speakers again. Council Leader Marok, you have a choice. You can leave our solar system peacefully, or you can see what our battleships can really do. On the screen, they could see Marok discussing urgently with his officers. Finally, he turned back to the camera. We will withdraw, he said stiffly. But this is not over. Actually, Admiral Day replied, I think it is. The Veldari Empire will sign a peace treaty with Earth, recognizing us as an independent power, or we will demonstrate why building battleships was only the beginning of our preparations. As the Veldari ships began to retreat, June turned to Hana and Taiho. I think the aliens just learned an important lesson about humans. Hana nodded. Never judge a species by their diplomatic vessels. 2 weeks had passed since the Veldari fleet retreated. Earth had changed. People looked at the sky differently now, knowing there were other beings out there, not all of them friendly. In the World Council chamber, Captain Jun Kim stood with Dr. Hana Lee, watching as Veldari representatives signed a peace treaty with Earth. Ambassador Kuhn was not among them. He had been replaced by a lower-ranking official who showed much more respect to the humans. The Veldari Empire recognizes Earth as a sovereign power, the official read from the document. We agreed to respect Earth's territory and to engage in fair trade. Admiral Day Park and Captain Min Han stood nearby, their uniforms crisp and formal. Both wore small smiles. The UES Thunderchild remained visible from Earth, hovering in low orbit as a reminder of human power. When the signing was done, Chancellor Hyuk Ryu, Earth's highest political leader, addressed the room. "Today marks a new chapter for humanity," he said. "We have taken our place among the stars not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals." After the ceremony, Jun, Hana, Taiho, Admiral Day, and Captain Min met in a private room with the new Veldari representative. "There is something we don't understand," the Veldari said. "Why build such massive warships when you had never met an alien threat?" Admiral Day exchanged looks with Captain Min before answering. "Those ships were not built just for war." "I don't understand," the Veldari said. Captain Min stepped forward. "May I show him, Admiral?" Admiral Day nodded, and Min activated a screen on the wall. It showed the inside of the UES Thunderchild, but instead of just weapons and military equipment, there were vast open spaces, gardens, living areas, schools. "Our battleships serve many purposes," Min explained. "Yes, they can fight if needed, but they were designed as Arcs." "Arcs?" the Veldari asked. "Vessels that could carry large numbers of our people through space for generations if necessary," Hana explained. "If Earth ever faced a disaster, these ships would ensure humanity's survival." The Veldari looked shocked. "You built them to save your species?" "Yes," Admiral Day said. "Defense and survival. We hoped we would never need them for war, but we made sure they could fight if necessary." "When your ships arrived," June added, "we were already prepared. Not because we knew about you specifically, but because we always prepare for the possibility of threats." The Veldari seemed to be thinking deeply. "Your species is unusual. Most developing worlds focus only on their own planet until they meet others." "Humans have always looked to the stars," Taiho said, "and we've always prepared for the worst while hoping for the best." A month later, a new facility opened on the moon. It was called the Interstellar Defense Force Headquarters. General Minji Kang, newly appointed as its commander, gave Captain Jun and Dr. Hana a tour. "This will be the center of our operations, now that we know what's out there," Minji explained as they walked through the large control room. "What have we learned about the Veldari Empire since they left?" Jun asked. Minji brought up a holographic map showing many star systems. "They control this region," she said, pointing to a section of space. "But there are other powers too. Some are allies of the Veldari, some are enemies, and many are neutral." "Have they told others about us?" Hana asked. "Oh yes," Minji smiled. "Word is spreading quickly about the humans who hid battleships inside their moon." Admiral Day joined them, carrying digital reports. "We've already received messages from 3 other species who want to establish contact. It seems not everyone appreciates the Veldari's methods." "Potential allies?" Jun asked. "Possibly," Day nodded. "Ambassador Taiho is preparing for diplomatic missions, and we're upgrading the Sentinel for longer journeys." Hana looked excited. "So we're going to visit other worlds?" "Yes," Day confirmed. "But carefully, and always with protection." They walked to a large viewport that looked out over the lunar surface. In the distance, they could see shipyards where more vessels were being built. "Are those more battleships?" Jun asked. "No," Minji said. "Something even bigger." She brought up images on a nearby screen. They showed enormous ships under construction, many times larger than even the Thunderchild. "These are city ships," Minji explained. "True interstellar vessels capable of supporting millions of people. They can travel between stars and establish colonies on new worlds." Jun looked amazed. "We've been planning this for a long time." "Generations," Dai confirmed. "The battleships were just the first step." Meanwhile, on the Veldari homeworld, Council Leader Marak stood before the High Command, explaining his failure. The humans hid their true capabilities, he said. Our scans detected nothing. How is this possible? Asked the Supreme Commander. No species could hide ships that large. Their technology is different from ours, Marak explained. They think differently. While most species build their military openly to deter attacks, humans built in secret. Are they a threat to us? Another commander asked. Marak considered the question carefully. Not if we respect their territory. They seem content to defend, not conquer, but if threatened. He paused. They built warships before they even knew there was anyone to fight. Their entire history has prepared them for conflict. The Supreme Commander looked troubled. We must learn more about these humans. I agree, Marak said, but we should approach with respect now. They are not the primitive species we thought they were. Back on Earth, Chancellor Hyuk addressed the people in a global broadcast. For centuries, humanity has looked to the stars and wondered if we were alone, he said. Now we know we are not. The galaxy is filled with other beings, some friendly, some not. Images of the Earth fleet appeared behind him, the massive ships hovering protectively around the planet. We built these ships in secret, hoping we would never need them for war. Now they will serve as our ambassadors and explorers as we take our place among the stars. Captain Minhan watched the speech from the bridge of the Thunderchild. Beside her was a young officer. Is it true the Veldari are telling everyone about us? The officer asked. Min nodded. Yes. Word is spreading throughout their empire and beyond. The humans who hid battleships in their moon. What will happen now? The officer wondered. Min looked out at the stars. Now we explore. Now we meet other species as equals, not as conquests or conquerors. She smiled slightly. And if anyone else mistakes us for helpless primitives, they'll learn the same lesson as the Veldari. The officer finished. Exactly, Min said. Never judge a species by their diplomatic vessels. Always look for what they might be hiding behind their moon. In the vast darkness of space, Earth's ships prepared for their first true journey to the stars. Not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as humans. Always hoping for peace, always ready for war, and now taking their rightful place in the galaxy.